All right, let this be an attempt that I shall undertake on this challenge to deliver this message, these subtle messages, that these little epiphanies that I've been receiving over the years, these revelations, as I would call them. I'm going to attempt to pretty much bring the message that was brought to me by someone else, and for me to be able to decode the message and deliver it in the most authentic way, and hopefully my transparency with my process and with my experience allows you to relate, allows you to see things from my perspective, and to also be able to experience vicariously through me the challenges and the depths of all the feelings and all the emotions that I go through. And I wanted to, it's kind of hard figuring out where to start, but I guess I'll start at the beginning. About 7 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that, around 2016, 2017, I decided to pack up a backpack and take off, leave my, close a few of the businesses that I had. Right out of college, I was making $100,000 working at our aerospace company. Then left that to open a gym with some friends. I opened up a jiu-jitsu studio where it was definitely a stepping stone in my process, allowed me to travel a little bit more and have more time to focus on the things that I really like to do. And then something happened within the family where my brother completely just was going through his process of evolving, I guess, and he literally just disappeared for months at a time. We didn't know where he was. So that really caused me to really do the same, because after seeing him a few times, I asked him if he's voluntarily doing that and voluntarily putting himself through the process of being homeless or not having money, or just putting himself through these challenges. He would also say the most profound things that I've ever heard, and I've sat with some spiritual teachers throughout the years. I went to Portugal and sat with Muji and listened to him, and that's really the first time I experienced silence inside my head and my mind and my soul, just for a brief moment. And after that, I started realizing that there's more to life than just running around and trying to accomplish as much as we can. And there's a deeper meaning to life. And when my brother kind of was going through his process, when he disappeared, that caused me to seek those answers, right? To challenge myself with putting myself in this place where I wasn't attached to anything material. Like I thought, well, shit, my company doesn't matter, this business doesn't matter, as like my relationship with my brother matters more than anything else in my life. Family is really is something sacred, is something special. So in a way, I abandoned everything material in order to seek those higher answers. And that happened around 7 years ago, with the inspiration from my brother. And maybe soon enough he'll be here sharing with you guys about his part of the story and his side of his view on things, because I've learned so much from his experiences. Bec- um, and it was when I stopped judging his experiences. When I fully welcomed whatever he was going through and fully unconditionally love everything that he was being around with and everything that he was involved in. I vicariously lived through his experience, and almost like when something crazy happens to a family member, they kind of tend to take everybody for a ride. So when my brother is going through stuff, he's definitely taking everybody on that same journey, and in a way helps me experience life through his perspective. And obviously the more you love somebody, the more you're kind of suffering with them. You go through their process of growth or their emotional pain. The more you are kind of involved with that person, the more you go through the same process. So I'm really grateful to have gone through some of these pains, also learning to detach from different people's processes, still feel compassion for what they're going through, but now once I learned the lessons of detachment and really learning non-attachment and meditating on it for quite a while, I've allowed myself to transcend that the way of limited thinking, right? I don't have to suffer with them. I could acknowledge their suffering if anybody's suffering, but also not still keep my head above the water where I'm not succumbed by the pain. I can still feel the pain, but I'm really detached from the process where I can feel the pain, but also understand that the pain is not something permanent. The pain is only something that I feel in the physical body, in the physical sense, but it's not something that's going to be forever. And the more and more I meditate on love and that unconditional love, I could easily transition from this pain to unconditional love and enjoy the whole experience. Actually allow myself to enjoy the blessings of experiencing hardship and experiencing pain. So my goal with this channel and creating this content is not anything material per se. It's I really enjoy the fact that I put myself through these different challenges. I take on all these challenging, hard tasks for myself. Like I would put myself in the darkness for 5 days and 5 nights, thinking and meditating on a certain question that I have in my mind. If something crazy happens outside of my control, I oftentimes sit in prayer and meditation, knowing that that's really the only thing that I could do, because I'm powerless as far as helping somebody. I can only sit and go within myself in order to realize what the lesson behind this particular happening is. And oftentimes, because of things were so crazy outside of my control, um, it led me to discovering the faith that I have, my connection to Source and God, and to explore that silence and to explore that depth within me, and to really connect with prayer as far as speaking my mind connected with my higher self and with my body, with my heart and my mind, and speak it right into existence, almost like connect my words to my heart center and to the brain, and have that coherence to be able to speak. And once I discovered that within me, through various sorts of exercises that I put myself through, like some of them are me journaling every day with my right hand, and also I started implementing writing with my left hand on the opposite page, in a mirror like image, writing with my left hand out, completely opposite way, so I could essentially learn how to write with both hands all at the same time. And by that way, I'm stimulating my left and right hemisphere, and I'm able to almost like bring my mind into a meditative, into a flow state where I'm able to connect and have these answers come to me. And once I've realized that a lot of energy and a lot of information is not new, it's just transitioning from one state to another, and there has been somebody that has already said these words that I'm speaking now. It just I'm able to tap into this field of information where I'm able to bring messages that are timeless. It's almost like the books that I've read now make so much sense, and I can understand how the writers like Da Vinci or Dante and all these Stoics, they're able to transcend time with the books that they write, because it's something, it's a universal truth, it's universal wisdom that is passed on from generations to generations, right? And the purpose of this is for this information to be out there, whether it's me speaking it in a video, whether it's me writing a book, whether it's me recording that information somehow, shape or form. I am doing this with the sole purpose of me creating this information, and not really creating it, but recreating it, maybe with different words or different ways that I am putting this information. But the whole creative process would be my experience to dedicate this, and this feels like my life's work, because over the last 7 years I was oftentimes being questioned by people as far as what am I doing for money. That's the first thing I get asked when I'm traveling so extensively and living abroad. The first question that people ask me is, what am I doing for money? My mom often asks me, when am I going to get a job? And I've had jobs throughout the years. I make enough money in lump sums to be able to sustain myself abroad, and I oftentimes take months at a time just for my soul retreat. It's almost like I am allowing myself to slow down, allow myself to feel bored at times. And I've realized that boredom is one of those things that once I've learned how to manage the fact that I might get bored, especially if I simplify my life, right? If I simplify my life and make it that it's boring almost every day to do the same things, being able to sit through that boredom actually allows me to go on the other side and receive these messages of knowledge. And I believe that we are all can connect to a fountain of knowledge, and this stream of information that is all inside of us. And by going within ourselves, we could almost like unplug this well of knowledge that is in every single cell of your body, every single cell of your psyche and your mind and your whole existence here, your manifestation on this plane. Then I'm able to really understand any book that I read, and also books that I've read maybe years ago. I am finally being able to digest the information that I couldn't understand at the time, but now I have the faculty to be able to understand and decipher the message. And I believe that messages come in all types, shape, and form, only if we allow ourselves to really get in the sense of flow and really be in a receptive state of actually being able to digest that information. Because oftentimes I would get, even people, if I'm around people, if I'm around the right master, at the time, if I am ready to hear the message as a student, then I will receive the wisdom from anything that's in front of me. Sometimes animals would be those masters that present the lessons for me. Sometimes it's the experience itself. I did Ramadan fasting last month for 30 days, and that was something that it felt like a whole spiritual process. It felt like a pilgrimage that I went through, because every day was different. I was being challenged in a different way every single day. And at some times I wanted to quit, but I had to negotiate with myself to keep going through that process. And I feel like a lot of the things that I've done, I've gained some invaluable information. And the goal for this is to not keep it for myself, but to present it to you guys. And like I said, in the hopes of me being transparent with my experience, I'm able to inspire your way of thinking, your way of questioning reality, and your way of allowing yourself to actually receive this information. And I want you to question everything that comes out of my mind, out of my head, because I want you to have your own discernment and being able to think for yourself as far as what I'm saying, and even if it resonates to you. I know that this will resonate to a lot of you guys, because it resonates with myself. And if I am the one that is part of this whole existence and is somehow interconnected to this whole reality, I believe that the right people will find this message at the right time, that they're ready to receive that message. And I encourage you guys to listen for the subtle messages that are between the lines, because sometimes as I unfold these philosophies, oftentimes I'm not planning for the things that I'll say, but many times something will come up to my mind where, as I'm speaking it, it'll reveal itself. It's almost like the message is being channeled currently, and when I get in a sense of flow, especially when I speak from the connection with the mind and body, that is when I'm able to say things that I haven't really practiced saying, but it just comes out. And I love this process of being spontaneous and having things just come out and flow freely, because that is when I go back and revisit. And maybe this material is for me to revisit it back years from now and seeing what information was being presented at this moment. And also maybe it is a selfish act on my part to record and birth this information for my future self to go back and review that. So that is in a way I am seeing the progress that I am going through, and also acknowledging the progress that I'm going through, seeing the past version of myself, how I've gone through these alchemical processes of transformation, and really allowing my old self and parts of myself to die, and to really part ways with old versions of myself, and giving birth to this new version of myself and my psyche and my way of thinking. And I've realized many things as far as growth and healing, because healing always comes from us going in a circular motion. Healing is not a linear process. It is more like a circular motion that leads to the core essence of ourselves. And just like the tree of life, the mandala, every little piece of I imagine myself as the tree of life, and I have a bunch of these centers, right? A bunch of these circles intertwining all over my body. And if I see myself as the tree of life, every individual circle could be represented as the center of the existence, right? So in a way, my psyche or my existence or whatever spirit is holding this body together isn't residing in the head or the mouth or the heart. There's intelligence and information and a piece of your soul and psyche in every little cell of your body. And once I acknowledge that every single cell of my body could be the center of my existence, I am more easily able to connect to the intelligence that is in this whole vessel, and bring it forth and bring it to fruition, bring it to manifestation and creation, right? I'm able to co-create with having that intelligence and having that capacity to feel and really be in tune with my body. And that is what the goal is. The goal is to bring forth my creativity in any way, shape, and form. And I'm not sure, I would probably need some feedback from my audience as far as the path that I'm taking. But I know that I kind of have an idea. I'll probably share, each video will be a different experience that I put myself through. Like last time I did 30 days of Ramadan. I've also done training on myself as far as focusing on a singular thing for months at a time, and putting in a lot of focus and energy on, let's say, surfing, for example, let's say diving, learning to hold my breath, doing breath work for a month at a time, doing all these challenges like ice baths and fasting. And just the modality of fasting alone is something that is a really spiritual process for me. It's one of the most purest ways that I'm able to experience life. The body and mind become so sensitive to everything, and I'm really able to feel multidimensionally when I fast. So that is another thing. Another topic would be the dark room, psychedelics, obviously a tool that can be used to expand our consciousness. A lot of times reading and simple conversations with people, we could connect to people and have a deeper understanding about reality by listening to someone else's experience and really putting ourselves in their shoes and really being able to receive that information that this language is capable of. Because language is a way of making love, and if two people having great conversation, is almost like they're able to understand the energy of love and the polarity and the masculine and feminine form of giving and receiving information. And many of these challenges that I put myself through have very much allowed me to feel both sides of the spectrum. Like some days I would feel like ecstatic and blissed out of my mind, especially when I fast. And some days I feel like so miserable, and so the desire and the energy to live is just not there, and I'm questioning my existence. But I also acknowledge that it is not forever, and it is definitely a process that teaches me faith, right? Any challenging moment that I have, that I undergo, only reminds me to have faith, to inspire myself to connect to the energy of the all, the presence of the creator, and allow myself to really really build on my faith and detach from the feeling of pain. Just acknowledge the feeling of pain, but know that it's something temporary. And that is some of the lessons that I've come to realize. I've learned to communicate through my dreams. As far as when I have questions about existence, I oftentimes receive the answers through dreams. So dreams is something that I could touch on as far as have experience. And for example, I had this dream a few weeks ago about death and dying, and how this whole purpose of our existence is for us to learn and expand our consciousness, to be able to be capable to see death when the moment comes, to gracefully go through the process of dying. Because our souls are, in a way, they're good at transitioning from one place to another. Our souls have been transitioning since the beginning of time from one energy form to another, and they're really good at the process of dying. And once realized that dying is a very much necessary process, once I meditate on the process of dying and actually put myself in situations and in my mind where my body does not exist, or maybe my time has passed, I meditate on the process of death. I am able to break through the cycles of time, and that's when the information flows freely into my psyche, and now I'm able to bring it into existence by pulling it from somewhere else. So I understand now that we are timeless beings that are going through these different experiences in life, and no experience is better than the next. No, being somebody who's homeless is not necessarily a worse experience than being somebody who has everything that they ever wish for and they live life of abundance, right? I've come to realize that all these are just different experiences of the collective, and we can learn from both experiences. We have the ability to see the lessons that are being presented through both experiences, and that is why I've had some really profound conversation with homeless people. After seeing that my brother is homeless, I asked him, is that something that you're doing by choice, or is that something that is out of necessity you're doing that? And I don't know if he's lying to me, but when he told me that he's been the happiest he's ever been the times that he was homeless, and meeting new people and being connected to these places that he just spontaneously goes and hears these voices in his head that guide him to go to certain things and go through these certain experiences, he is the happiest he's ever been. And when he tells me that, I believe him, because I feel it. I feel what comes out of his vessel, and I feel the energy and the wisdom that comes. And once I'm hit with that energy, I can't deny that, but to seek that same thing. So in a way, my brother has inspired me to take on these challenges myself and put myself in these situations. Recently, about 2 years ago, I gave up the shares of my business that I had with friends of mine. I just completely learned to detach from something that I put in so much effort and money and time to just give it away, almost like a Buddhist practice where it takes so long for the monk to build a mandala on the beach. Let's say they draw something, and only when it's finished for them to completely destroy it and learn detachment right away, right? They don't even, maybe they enjoy their efforts for a moment in time, but then they completely destroy the whole mandala, which took them weeks and months to create, and completely learn detachment from our work. And that is the same way I want to approach this work as well. The goal is to put my soul, my body, and every little ounce of energy that I have in my body in order to bring this information to you, and also at the same time detach from the fact that I'll be spending so much time and effort and energy into doing this, that I'm not seeking the rewards from it. I'm not seeking to gain anything material. It's purely for its creation. It really gives me an outlet to be able to speak and address all this information, and really allow myself to deliver this information, and not have it sit inside me, because I felt like for a long time I've been stingy with this information. I was not connected enough to feel that this information could be of any value to anybody out there. And maybe I have the self-critic and the self-conscious the self-critic inside me judging myself as far as me sounding smart, or I also have to question my motives and my desire to even say and bring this information into existence, because of the fact that what is the goal of me delivering this information, right? Is it a selfish goal, like I want to sound wise and I want to sound like somebody who's saying something smart? Is it to inspire people? Is it to create a following? Is it to to generate some sort of income? And I'm thinking about the term ikigai and what that really meant. And ikigai doesn't really apply to making money in Japan. It's more like an American concept where we are involving now money into something that we love to do. But I'm seeing my life as giving me many blessings because of the lifestyle that I choose to live and the challenges that I'm undergoing. And just because I'm being able to receive these nuggets of wisdom by the experiences and challenges that I'm undertaking, that has given me a tremendous amount of value. It's given me depth to the process of this life. It's given me more of a foundation for me to hold on and understand that all of our existence is for us to realize the lessons, to learn detachment, to learn transcendence, to learn to appreciate everything that we have and see people and friends and family, see them right where they are, be in full state of presence with all of our reality, and really being connected to the experience, no matter what the experience is, whether it's sad or maybe it's something joyous, maybe a joyous moment. Allow ourselves to not be attached to the moment, but just appreciate the fact that we're able to experience all of this. And that is the main message, is for me to present you the tools that I have used in order to unlock parts of my psyche and the way I think. And all those tools I've pretty much used from everybody that I've seen. Everybody that has been in contact with me has in some way, shape, and form has provided a deep lesson for me. So in a way, I also want to dedicate this this work to you guys. I want to in expressing my gratitude towards each and every one of you that has been in contact with me. Let this be me expressing the gratitude that I have for each and every one of you, because each and every one of you has been a stepping stone in my experience on this plane, and each and every one of you has been an integral part in the growth of all of us and my consciousness. And I acknowledge that if I am connected to all of it, then I am also being able to say that each and every one of you's problems in life is also my problem as well. And by learning to feel that is what actually enables us to be human. Is we are now capable to experience, to feel empathy, to relate to people and go through the hardships that they're going through, right? And see life through their point of view. And that is really the information and the challenge that I'm undertaking, is I am putting myself out there as transparent as I can, in the hopes that this information resonates and something that I would like to see grow into something organically. And if you resonate with this information, please give me some feedback. Maybe if you're listening, if you actually allow yourself to be patient with my delivery of this information, you will be able to stay with the information and the the nuggets, right? Receive the nuggets of knowledge, because I've realized that it's not when I'm listening to the highlights of a song. Yeah, I do feel the dopamine from a highlight of a song. If I put that on repeat, put the best part of a song and listen to that, I definitely get parts of the whole story. But it wasn't until I allowed myself to listen to the whole album, that is when I really get the full picture of what the artist and what the creator was trying to say. And like some of these songs are gonna be happy and make you feel really ecstatic. You're gonna feel the dopamine. But some songs will make you really just go within yourself and almost bring tears to your eyes. And that's the beauty of this life, and the beauty of this story is, if you're tuned in to the capacity of our listening, once you understand that listening is an art, and it's something that could potentially bring forth many lessons, because we have two ears and one mouth. So once we're able to really tune in and listen, the information just could come from any angle. And that is the intention. Please allow yourselves to be critical with anything that I say, and also allow yourself to see life from this perspective that I'm bringing forth, in order for you to have a different, almost like have a different experience. And by doing so, we are able to elevate, grow, heal one another from having these conversations, and having these connections. And by learning ourselves, by teaching ourselves to be patient enough with listening to the full CD, is usually when the information comes to us, right? When the student is ready to listen, the master appears in front of him, almost like magic, right? So let this channel be a way for me to bring this magic to you, and by staying connected, I'll be inspired to do more of this work. And it really feels like my life's work. So I'm asking, as a favor, I'm asking for some feedback as far as what you think the next step of this unfolding of this information would be. What would you guys like to hear from me as far as the experiences? I know I travel a lot for the last 7 years. So I've been on the road. Like I said, I work here and there just to sustain myself and have enough money to travel. But I really don't worry about money, and I really don't base my decisions on how much money I have. I imagine that God will always give me what I need, especially if I'm doing and pursuing the things that pull me, the things that connect to my heart and soul. And I've always tend to have enough. In order to sustain my lifestyle. And with that, I want to leave you guys. I know it's a long talk, but I want to remind you guys that we're all in this together. Whether the experience brings us away, whether this life separates us in a way, whether we lose touch, I have to constantly remind myself that my friends and family and people that are around me are always going to be in some way linked to my existence. And a lot of times I revisit things through dreams, especially when I'm fully connected and I'm fully being able to sit through my boredom. When I put myself through being bored, I'm able to tap into that oneness of creation. And that is the goal. To activate the inner healer inside all of us. Once we're able to see that inner healer, we understand that that everything, all the answers are from within ourselves, and it's not me seeking the answers outside of myself. I've realized that I could only follow certain wisdoms and certain masters for so long, but in the end, the last little step of the way to my liberation is really by my own faith, by my own steps, paving my own path, and being brave enough to walk my own path that nobody else could hold my hand, and have the courage to follow the path regardless of what the feedback outside of me. I have to develop the ability to trust in myself and really be courageous, really be courageous. And there's a saying in Hebrew that goes by rak rak chazak amatz, rak chazak amatz, rak chazak amatz, rak chazak amatz. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but means you are strong and courageous. So let this be a reminder that you are strong and courageous, and you are capable to undergo that struggle. Maybe you're going through a struggle, right? You have the capability to undergo that process, to undergo this challenge and rise up on the other side and bring your head above the water again. And once you do that, all the answers come in. Just realize that we're all meant to endure some sort of struggle in life, and many people get put against the wall in very crucial moments in their life, and they think that it's the end of the world. But then looking back on my life, I've realized that the hardest moments in my life, the most challenging, enduring moments where I had to go on my knees and really pray to God, and I didn't even know what the energy of God really was. I just knew that I needed to go and bow down on my knees and just fully surrender to the process of life. That was the moment that was most precious to me now, looking back. It's those hardships that I really value now, because the biggest lessons came from those hardships. And let this be the message that I'll leave you guys with today. It's no matter what hardships you're going through, know that you are capable and you are strong and courageous to overcome those challenges and rise on the other side with the lesson and with the experience that you're meant to receive in this life form. And know that everything that is happening in your vicinity, in your reality, is happening for a reason, for you to realize and transcend the whole process of dying, of death, and be okay with anything that happens. Have an attitude of being okay with all aspects of life, and just know that nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent in this physical sense, and remind yourself to not be so hard on yourself. Just know that you are capable. God always gives you enough because it knows that you're strong and courageous to overcome anything that comes in your way. So let this message be a reminder that faith is something that you have to cultivate, something that you can cultivate in moments of hardship. Just remind yourself that faith is the only way that could pull you out, the only way that could bring the heaven into existence here on earth. It is, the divine logic, human logic can only take you so far. At the end of the process, like Dante describes it in the Inferno, he says that the last little 10% of the ascension to heaven, you have to call upon the angel of unconditional love, the angel of faith and unconditional love that guides you the last little step of the way. And that is what I want to leave you guys with today. Much love to all you guys. If you like, please share this message, subscribe. I don't know if that's even something I should be even saying. I know that if you're going to resonate with this, I'll probably post this full video on YouTube, maybe do snippets of it on Instagram, as far as putting the information out there. And like I said, let this be a growing opportunity for all of us. Me speaking and connecting my voice to my thoughts is allowing me to also expand my way of thinking. And once I hear myself speak these words, I also acknowledge myself, and my future self would actually have an opportunity to revisit this information and study from it. So that is what the messages be. Open yourself to learning and be an infinite student of life, and let us all explore this existence together. Love you guys. Much love. Love you guys. Right there. I love you. Until next time.